Well, good morning. Welcome. It's good to have you today to talk about off-site construction and specifically Guerdon. You've chosen the manufacturer that has the most industry experience. We'll be talking about all the various projects that we've done, the history of what we've done, so come on in. All right, we're excited to have you today to talk about off-site construction and specifically Guerdon. We are the most experienced manufacturer in the industry. We've produced over 225 multifamily projects, 26 hospitality projects, and thousands of workforce housing modules serving the oil and mining industry. We're going to walk out and take a look at a super efficient factory and how we build and how off-site construction works. And as we go down the hallway, we have this is our wall of fame. You'll be able to see some of the various projects that we've completed over our 20 plus years of doing this. So come on into our factory. In our factory today, we're going to be touring a modular operation. We're 22 stations. And we're going to go back to the start of our production and talk about the advantages of off-site construction and the wonderful things that Guerdon has experienced over the years with lessons learned and a continuous improvement mentality, and take a look at how we build and see some of our people. So come on. We're at the beginning of our process here. This is station one. We do have a component facility that creates sub-assemblies, various means and methods that feeds each of our stations. So today we're producing 3 modules. This project is serving a project in Los Angeles, California, a little bit more market rate. We're at module 154 of 163. So we'll be wrapping this project up this week, and we'll be starting the next project, of which we'll take a look at a proto unit later. So what I want to point out too is all the advantages of off-site as well as Guerdon. So we're building in a controlled environment. That means when our lumber comes in, we're checking the moisture on the lumber. We're rejecting anything that's beyond the industry standard. So we're controlling the building envelope through the entirety. So we're not working in the rain and then trying to sheathe and get in the dry. We're working in a dry context all the way through. Specifically to Guerdon is the floor system. Over the 20 plus years, we've developed an engineered laminated beam system for our perimeter rails and an I-Joist system. We feel that serves the strength of the module for transportation, what you want to accomplish from plumbing, from the drain and the falls and everything that we have to do to make the project be successful. We're building here and we're using a quality assurance manual that talks about the means and methods of our processes at each step of the way. So we have a traveler, it's all digital, it's uploaded to the cloud. So we have team leads, we have 37 processes in our factory measured among 13 different teams. So a team lead at station 1 and 2 is going to ensure he's built the module to the specifications of the state approved plans, the specifications for the finishes that the client is wanting, and then all the testing, all the squareness, all the things that has to happen at each station is performed, and then that traveler's signed off so it can move to the next station. Our third-party inspection group is here all the time. Every week they're here auditing our process to ensure that we're building exactly to what we say in our quality assurance manual. So we're building in station 1, then we have a hoist that's going to lift and come over in station 2. In station 2, we're going to begin to rough in the mechanical and electrical and plumbing. We'll begin the first round of testing our plumbing systems here. So walk up and I'll show you more. So here we have our electrical and plumbing teams that are beginning to rough in everything that we're doing in the module below the floor system. It will set here. Here you can see the double laminated beam that I was speaking of earlier, and the I-Joist system. See the I-Joist system of what we have. That is a means and method of Guerdon that far exceeds a structural lumber floor system. So after we're finishing station 2, we'll use air testing to test our drain waste vent system. And then we will come out of station 2. You can see our pipes are roughed in, and then we will move to station 3. So now we're at station 3. At station 3, we're insulating the floor. We've come out of station 2. We've roughed in our mechanical, electrical, plumbing systems. We're here, we've done our testing. You can see that we're installing our underlayment and preparing for our floor covering that will move to the next station. At station 4, here's an area where we can talk about how we're building from the inside out. You can see here how we're covering. This is a shear wall. You can see the structural panel and the gypsum. So we're covering the inside different than site construction. Site construction is going to frame and sheathe and work their way in. We're going to be working on the interior finish and work our way out, which is a far superior method of building. Here's all our partition walls that are being built. So we got framing tables that's going to feed these racks. We're going to be hanging gypsum here, and they'll go into the racks, and then they'll be installed on station 4. So here you can see that the partition walls have been installed. You can see the gypsum that's in place that I was speaking of earlier, and the floor covering will be installed. Look, they're installing the luxury vinyl tile flooring in this unit right now over top of the underlayment. Here's our 1/4-inch underlayment. Here's our full glue assembly that we're installing, and you can see the luxury vinyl tile being installed. That's taking place with station 4 and station 5, okay? So now we're moving to our sidewall area. These station 5 and station 6. The sidewalls or the long walls are being manufactured on these 2 tables. The requirements is all of our marriage walls, we're installing sheathing underneath the gypsum. We're doing that for the rigidity of the module, whether it's a structural shear wall or not. We're doing that as an advantage with our goal of delivering the superior quality and all the advantages that you have in off-site construction, and specifically with Guerdon. That's a lot of that lessons learned that we've had over those 225 projects. So as you can see, gypsum's in place. So in station 4 and 5, we're getting the advantages of the sub-assemblies that are taking place in our component plant. So framing is happening on the partition walls, as we spoke earlier, back at our tables here. They're coming into the racks, and you can see here, see this hoist? They're placing a partition wall in place right now. So all that activity is happening simultaneously, okay? At the same time, sidewalls are being built. They'll go into our racks. So now we're at a station where our sidewalls are installed on the module, and we're getting ready for the ceilings to be built. In our factory at the same time, we're building floors, walls, sidewalls, partition walls, and ceilings simultaneously. So we have about a 60 to 90 minute tack time, depending on the project, for all these activities to come together. So that's what we're beginning to see now. Now we're into our ceiling build area. We have 2 tables, that's where the modules, the ceiling of the modules are actually framed. Then they will come into these racks. Here you can see the sprinkler systems are installed and tested. That's taking place in our framing tables. And you can see our team of experts here preparing the ceilings for the finish to be installed. We'll do the gypsum finish before we install the ceiling on the module. Let's walk upstairs and see what that looks like. So up here now, we're getting a real good visual of all the activities that are taking place. You can see the ceilings being built over here. You can see them coming in our racks. You can see our sidewalls coming into the racks. As we spoke just a few minutes ago, we saw sidewalls being installed. Now here's the ceiling that we've installed in the last 20 minutes. You can see our hoist has brought our ceiling over. The gypsum's fully installed. So we've had a floor system, wall system, and ceiling system to come together since we've started our shift today. So now we have a box fully framed with a high percentage of the gypsum already installed. Now we're setting at station 7, and we're continuing to move along with the mechanical and electrical plumbing processes. So let's go back down and take a look at what's taking place on the ground floor right now. Here's a significant point I want to make. Each of our modules has a license plate. That license plate has a QR code. So you can scan that QR code and you can pull up the plans specific to that module. Also, it has a number. It'll have a building, what building is it, what level unit is, what your unit number is for that particular module. All that is very, very important as the modules ship and they're installed on the foundation on site. Another huge thing with Guerdon is our processes for leveling the units when all these assemblies come together. So we're doing diagonal audits to ensure that these boxes are square. It's like a Rubik's Cube when it goes together. So when they're set in place, you're not having to move modules and pull modules around. We put a lot of effort in these being square and diagonally true. Now let's talk about an advantage with off-site construction. Over here, you can see the outlets are installed. So again, we're building from the inside out. So what we can do in off-site is we can seal the backside of those outlets. So all your wall and floor penetrations are sealed off. So we have a quality assurance team that's working all the time. Here's 2 of our QA/QC auditors. They're reviewing the plans. They're ensuring we're following the quality assurance manual we spoke to earlier. Now we're at station 9 in the line, and we're going to begin to wrap up all of our rough ends from our electrical and plumbing and HVAC. You can see all the blocking and all the requirements. This particular module, the stud spacing is very, very tight. It's like 10 inches on center on both of these modules. This is one of the lower level units. You can see our sprinkler tests are in place. You can see the balance of the rough ends are taking place. Now you can see that our cast iron pipe is in place. This is part of a corridor right here. So we're wrapping this up with our mechanical, electrical, and plumbing teams, getting ready to prepare for our finish team, our tape and texture team, to come in and finish the inside of the module. So here, this red tape means this A34 is not acceptable. So it's not been installed, it's not flush. So we have our tradesmen will come back and make the correction. They'll note that on the traveler, and our QA/QC team that we saw at the front of this box will ensure that's done before any sheathing takes place or before the unit continues down the line. Here's what I'm talking about, how we seal the backside of the outlets. Our team is finishing this up. Here you can see the sealant that's taking place. This is a very, very important part of what we're doing now, is we're installing the tie-down straps for the module. They're cutting the sheathing out and ensuring that is all correct. Now we're at station 11, so we're at the midpoint of our production. So we've talked about how we've built up to this point. So this is where we'll begin to hang the balance of the sheetrock or gypsum inside the unit and begin finishing the sheetrock so we can do the painting and begin the finish installing millwork and the finishes within the unit, windows, etc. Let's go back upstairs. So now we've done our electrical testing, we've done our plumbing testing. We're ready to close up the envelope. You can see with Guerdon, 100% of the time, we're installing a decking material on all our modules. We're doing a weather-tight EPDM that's installed to keep the modules dry during transportation and during the installation. So we take an extra step to ensure these modules are protected. Here's one that's completed. You can see that the sheathing is in place, the dense glass is in place. Now we'll begin installing the windows and continuing to wrap this module up. I want to show you something else before we go back downstairs. This is a big, big advantage to what we have with Guerdon. It's an EPDM system. We are always trying to see how we can do things better, but that has been an industry-proven method to keep modules dry during the shipping and installation phase. You can see that we've got our exterior weather area in place and our windows are installed as we're beginning to move down the line. Let's go back down so we can look inside. This is Rodrigo. This is one of our team leads. You see the black vest. He's been with us a long time. He's an industry veteran. He's up here now. He oversees a lot of the flooring. He oversees a lot of the tile work that's installed. Proud of you, Rodrigo. Good job. Now, we talked about we're closing the inside of the unit up. Our tradesmen are in here now starting the tape and texture process. All the soffits are in, all the electrical and plumbing and HVAC testing has been completed. You can see the exterior sheathing's on. Now we're beginning the finish process for the module. That's taking place at Station 12. Okay, again, this project is going to Los Angeles. It's called the Vermont Apartments. These stations, we're finishing the window installation, we're finishing the tape and texture, and we're getting ready to make the turn and go to the finished part of the building. Guerdon is installing an exterior firewall on this building. This is type 3 construction. It's required for us to have a firewall that goes all the way through the building as it separates units. You can see our tradesmen's installing this. Also, you can see these knife plates are installed. A big thing that you have with Guerdon is we can do so much in the factory that some others can't do. So you can see this plate in place. That's where a balcony is going to tie in. So we have all the bolting, all that plates already installed. So it doesn't have to be done on site. So it speeds the finish process up. Again, now we're finishing the inside, beginning to get the rest of the tape and texture done. And let's walk on down and see some millwork. Come on around over here. Hi, Anna.
Hi.
How are you today, Anna?
Good.
This is Anna. She leads our final finish group. She's been with us over 20 years. You're going to see some of her finished product here shortly. Thank you, Anna. Now we're beginning to take our door units in, and some of our casework and our cabinets are getting ready to be installed in this station. Now we're at Station 15. Let's walk to 16. Eric.
How are you?
All right. How are you today?
I'm doing great.
All right, Eric. This is Eric. He's our electrical supervisor. Again,
Okay.
You see the black vest and the team lead. He leads a great group of people that's making sure the electrical's installed and tested correctly.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Come on, let's go inside. You can see our cabinets are in place and our doors are being installed, and our tradesmen are here doing that at this time. We're at Station 16. We're getting ready to go into our finish stage. Again, you can see the test apparatus for our sprinkler system, and this module's now ready to go into our finish. Here's a big deal. This is a QA stop station. This means the units have to pass all the inspections before they can go to the next part of our production. So now we're in Station 17. So in 17 and 18, we're wrapping up the installation of the cabinets, countertops, doors, and finishes, and we'll begin lighting. All the light fixtures will be installed in these stations, and then we'll begin in the final testing of the plumbing and electrical HVAC systems, as well as completing the finishes on the units. Tile work is going in, appliances are going in, and kitchens are being finished, as well as the lights being installed and the plumbing and electrical fixtures installed. This is Kenny. This is our NTA third-party inspector here, making sure that all these modules are correct before they go out of the factory. Good to see you today, Kenny.
Tom, all right.
Let's go back and take a look inside. This is another kitchen. They're getting ready and they're installing the refrigerator and the appliances. You can see that tile work's been done. You can see that doors are installed. Let's walk outside now and look at a completely finished unit. So at Guerdon, we're out here now, we're at Station 23 through 32. These stations out here we use for various things. We use it when we're doing a hospitality project. We'll install furniture, fixture, and equipment out here. We also use these, we call them finger docks, so we can do our ready-to-ship inspection. That's a big part of what every multifamily project has. We have a customer's representative here. As we have completed the units, in compliance with all the requirements from the construction means and methods and the state approved plans with the NTA that we just saw just a few minutes ago. Out here, the customer will walk the unit and look at the cosmetic. So we're going to walk into the proto unit for the project currently being built, and we're going to walk to the proto unit for the project that's going in production on Friday. Okay, let's go inside and look at the unit. So this is the proto unit for the Vermont Apartments. You can see that the units are completely finished. All the kitchens installed, flooring's installed, all the millwork's installed, lighting, finishes, painting. We can see that washer and dryer's installed. In this particular unit, it's a junior 1-bedroom type unit. This is a double loaded quarter project, so we got the same thing on the other side. But you can see the casework, the millwork, you can see the finishes, and this is the only way to build. Off-site construction. So with off-site construction, and Guerdon specifically, you always want to do everything inside the unit and run all the rough ends out to the outside. Here we've ran the service entrance cable. From the panel box to here, we've got these units powered up temporarily here so we can see the finishes and also so our client representative can walk the unit. But we rough everything to this center area. So the goal is when these units are installed, there's very minor things done inside the units and they can shut that door and it's completed. So you don't have tradesmen in, placing tools all over the countertop and doing things to damage units. The sprinkler systems are roughed into the center. We've got conduits for the rest of circuits that have to be installed. We've got pull ropes that you can see with the little piece of conduit and the rope. That'll allow you to pull the wiring inside the unit, and again, keeping the minimal amount of work inside the units after they are installed on the job site on the foundation for everything to be done in this quarter. There'll be a drop ceiling here. Sometimes this is a temporary ceiling that goes to the next level up, but all the completion of the MEPs will be done inside these quarters and minimal work done inside the units. Okay, let's walk out and look at the PCH townhome. This is PCH townhome. Last week we had a crane in place here and we actually installed the unit. This enables us to check the stairs, the rise and run of the stairs, also to see how the mechanical, electrical, and plumbing systems are going to work in this particular unit. Okay, so the purpose of us building this proto and stacking this unit is, hey, you design everything, but you want to ensure that all of your plumbing stacks and all the things that you're doing to stack together are working. So that's what we've done. Also, you can see that we've installed siding on this unit. That enables us to check many things. This one has a unique roof design, so we wanted to make sure all the rafters and all the things that's done in the factory causes no problem on site. Currently, we're doing a blower door test. I talked about that earlier with the advantages of off-site construction and how we can work from the inside out. We're actually going to be proving it here because we're doing a blower door test on this project. Let's walk inside. So this is the next project that will be going into to production on Friday. The entire group, the ownership group, will be here on Thursday of this week. They'll be bringing various inspectors in so we can see how the product looks and ensure we've met all the requirements of what they're wanting to do. So the Guerdon team from project management, purchasing, design and engineering, manufacturing, QA/QC, we'll be meeting with that client when they're here Thursday, and we'll walk this unit. We'll create a various punch list of things they may say, hey, I want this outlet moved at a different spot. They'll look at the finishes. They'll think, oh, the wall finish, I like the paint. We can't make major changes as far as changing the casework, but there's a lot of minor things that we can confirm the customer wants. So that'll be taking place on Thursday of this week. So this is a 2-bedroom townhome, and here you can see that we've already installed the stairs, and now we can check to make sure as you walk up the stairs when you're stacking modules, all your landing works correctly. Walk with me. We have the plans, we test everything with the plan, but we have to make sure our people execute it correctly. Look at this alignment. It's a perfect alignment here. This gypsum from here to here will be installed on the job site. So this is great. Our team did a great job ensuring this stair aligned. This is a big deal to ensure you're correct. When you have the stairs coming out of a module here, landing in your upper level, you've got to make sure you only have 1/8 of an inch tolerance from this LVT flooring to that tread. So again, stacking these modules, checking this to ensure it's correct before it goes to the client is absolutely the right thing to do. Let's walk in here. So our team is doing some walkthrough in preparation for the client to be here. We talked about the pull string. So this is a low voltage. They'll be pulling a low voltage line in that quarter area like we looked at all the way in here. That would be done on site. That's a proven method that works, how you can place the low voltage wire for the requirements on site. So here you can see everything's finished and millwork's in place, doors are in place, doors are operating correctly. Okay, so this is a bath, fiberglass shower, vanities in place. Also with Guerdon, we do a full flow and function test. So we'll be, after all the systems have been air tested and we're at the finished stage of our factory, we will install water lines and we'll energize the entire system. We'll cap off the drain waste vent, we'll backfill all the way through the tubs and traps, and we will physically actually test the floor toilets to make sure they flush correctly. So currently right now we're doing a blower door test. You can see the apparatus is in place and the testing equipment is installed. The blower door test ensures the highest level of efficiency for all your mechanical, all your HVAC systems. That's going to make sure this unit operates at the most maximum efficiency with the lowest energy bill that you could possibly have. Hey, thank you for coming today. We're really excited that we had the opportunity to share with you. We appreciate it. We are really proud of our people. Major difference with Guerdon is people, processes, and experience, and I'm glad we were able to share some of that today. I got to get back to work. Thanks.